Okay, so am I audible to you all here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so very good morning to all of you here. So let us continue our discussion here in case of probabilities. So in previous class, we talked about the probabilities linkage with the random variables here. And subsequently, we talk about how we can establish a connection between the random variable and the associated probabilities here. And meanwhile, we also emphasized here during the discussion that random variable which you are trying to build here, it is on the foundation of the probabilities here. If you remember, once we have discussed about the probabilities here, at that time we talk about uncertainties involved here, correct? So whenever we talk about the uncertainties here, then based on that uncertainties, we talk in terms of probabilities here. And once we are moving ahead further through the concept of random variable, we are trying to build something on the top of the probabilities, information which is available with us here. And the whole objective of this random variable concept is so that we could extract the information easily, as well as we could compute it. Second thing, simultaneously, the more and more information we could retrieve from the system analysis here in a quicker way here. So analysis is one aspect here, so where we need to be very quick here and up to date here. So that we are trying to build a concepts here which give me the information in a very short span of time here. This is the whole broader objective of building the random variable on top of the probabilities concepts here. Now we are moving ahead here with discrete probability distribution. If you remember in the last few minutes of our yesterday discussion, one example we have considered related to the coin here, where we have tossed the coins, three coins here, and there we are looking forward for the number of head possibilities here. At that time, we have built the concept of random variable through x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, 2, and 3 here. So maximum possibilities here. So where capital X we use as a notation here to represent the random variable. And simultaneously, we also discussed we can keep any letter from A to Z here to represent the random variable here. But as a matter of fact, here we exclusively avoid some letters uses here to represent the random variable in order to avoid any ambiguity or any conflict here. For some letter we have used, we are kept it here for some other purpose here. During the discussion, we will comes to know this here. Okay. So this is the discrete probability distributions. Now we are going to discuss here in continuation of our previous discussion here. So once we talk about the discrete probability distribution here, so this is what we have discussed earlier here. For example, once we talk about the discrete probabilities here, then it is associated with the random variables here, and it is associated with the probabilities here. If you remember, once we calculate x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3 here, then we have also calculated associate some probabilities values here associated with those random variables here, and those probabilities values are coming through their associated probability distribution here. So that's why we are emphasizing on the distribution part here. Now, the first half of today's lecture here, we are going to discuss mainly this distribution aspect here. So once we talk about the probability distribution here, so there are two important properties here, or we can say if we the moment we say this random variable is following the discrete probability distribution properties here, then that random variable need to satisfy these two condition here is a mandatory one here. If any random variables is not satisfying these two properties, okay, So if we didn't need this distribution property here, then we can't say that the associated random variable is linked with a discrete probability distribution here. So meanwhile, one questions pop up here. So why we need this distribution here? Okay. So as I have discussed with you in yesterday's lecture here, few things. So that is the explanation here. If you remember this example. No, this one. This was the example here, which we discussed yesterday. So here, what we have done. So corresponding the tossing a coin here, what we have decided, three values, x is equal to 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is the random variable here. So the notation you can identify. This is the random variable we have defined it corresponding to a event. That event is the number of heads obtained here. Right? Corresponding to this, x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to 3 here. This is the values probability associated here. And this is the value related to their probability distribution functions here. So this whole aspects related to the random variable x represents the probability distribution here, correct? And this is something value which is discrete, because once I'm going to count the number of head here, it is going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3 here, like this here. It can't be 0.5, 1.5, or 2.5 like this. It is never going to be happen if I'm interested to count the number of heads here, correct? So the distribution which we are going to discuss here, it is linked with this probability distribution here, corresponding to the random variable x, which we have already calculated here. Now we are putting in the formal ways here. This is not a new things. This is in continuation of our previous understanding and discussion here. Okay. So if we say that any probability distribution is discrete in the nature here, then that probability distribution need to follow these two conditions here, correct? So the probability of each value of the discrete random variable is between 0 to 1 inclusive. So it could be 0 or it could be 1 here. So if you remember, so when we discuss about the probabilities regarding the different events here, we have discussed 0 is probability assigned to those events where those are impossible events here. And probability is 1 corresponding to those events which are certain events here. Means they are going to be happen definitely here. There could not be any deviation here. And second property, the sum of all the probability is 1. So these two properties need to be satisfied here. So when we are constructing a discrete probability distribution here, so let x be a random variable with possible outcomes x1, x2, xn here, like this. So what we are saying, x1, x2, x3. So you can think that our probability distribution is x. Just I'm keeping the previous problem here, tossing a 3 coins simultaneously. So where x is equal to, where x is our random variable, we are just like outcome x1 and x2, x3 here. So what could be x1? So corresponding to our previous problem here, what could be x1, x2, x3, and x4? Anyone can answer?
The number of heads coming.
Correct. So number of heads which are coming here, or head counts here. So x1 you can see 0, x2 you can see 1, x3 you can take 2, and x4 you can take 3, correct? So that's why we have just generalized it here. Let x be a discrete random variable with possible outcome x1, x2, x3, and xn here. In the previous example which you have considered, that was we have defined a random variable x where there was 4 possible outcomes here, x1, x2, x3, x4 here. and these outcomes values were 0, 1, 2 and 3 respectively here, correct? So once we are defining, make a frequency distribution for the possible outcomes based on their appearance here, just we segregated and then we have calculated. Second one, find the sum of the frequencies. That's we have to do because corresponding into the x is equal to 2, 3. There's another way here. I can go for individual and the sum of a here. Find the probability of each possible outcome by dividing its frequency by the sum of the frequencies and check that each probability is between 0 and 1. And that is that the sum is 1 here. So the two properties which we have discussed in the previous slides here. This is related to this one here. And the rest of the three is related to those events probabilities distribution finding here. So how we can find out corresponding to the event probability distribution function, and subsequently we need to also verify that this function values between 0 to 1 as well as the summation of all those possible outcomes is leading to the unity. So okay, so now we are going to take examples here, and based on that example you have to tell me what will be the correct answer here. So toss a coin twice and let the random variable x be the number of tails appearing. Okay, so now we are looking for the tails appearance. I have two coins here.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Voice is what breaking?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
it is very much.
No, sir, it's clear.
No, sir, it is fine.
I think some issue from your side then.
Maybe his network issue.
No, sir, it's
It is my
breaking, sir.
It is my
Okay.
connection problem. Sorry, sir.
Okay. So once you are speaking here, try to be one person at a time. Okay. So there one example we are considering background. Toss a coin twice here and let the random variable x be the number of tails appearing here. Okay. So we have to define a random variable x here, correct? And we are interested here to count the number of tails here. That's it. So now based on that question, the given circumstances here, there are two questions pop up here. What are the possible values of x? And second, what kind of random variable is x here? So let give the answer for the first. What are the possible values of x? Okay, good. Very good. I think many of you already understood the crisp of this problem here, and based on that we are responding very well. Very good. Okay. So as if we go for the possible values of x here, as there are only two times coin tossing here, so either it could be how many possibility for the tails appearance here. Both the head could appear, means the tail possibility could be 0, or out of the two times one tails could appear here. So x is equal to 1. This will be one possibility, second possibility, and it may happen corresponding to the both tossing here, both incident here, the tail would may appear. So 0, 1, 2, correct? So what are the possible outcome values of x? It could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 2. Someone will say what kind of random variable is x here? Means as we are going for the highly discrete values here, when I'm going to count the number of tails here, it will not be 0.5, 0.7, 0.9 like this here. It is coming in the interval of unity. It will be only possible 0, 1 or 2 here. So it's discrete in nature here. So possible values 0, 1, 2, and x is a discrete random variable. So many of you have responded very well here. Very good. Okay, so let us go ahead with another example here. A coin is flipped 10 times and heads occur 6 times here, correct? So what is the best possibility, what is the best probability model to predict results here? So here we are assuming biased coin model. So probability of head is 0.6, means trial by default tail, and the trials is 10 here. So corresponding to the tail, it will be 1 minus 0.6, 0.4 only here. So here the circumstances is I am going to toss a coin 10 times here, and I am explicitly looking here that what are the possibility that 6 times head will appear here. And head occurrences out of 10, 6 I am looking as a head possibilities here. So we can calculate it here, number of heads in 10 flips here. So out of the 10 possibility, it would be possible that the none of the time head will appear. That's the one possibility. Means here we are defining an event x here, and x event is the number of heads in the 10 flips here. And this values 10 flips value could be x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here maximum. Okay, so it may happen that none of out of the 10 incidents here 0 times head will appear, or it may happen out of 10 all the 10 times head will appear here. So maximum possibility is 10, and the minimum aspect possibility is also 0. So this random variable x is equal to 0 will include the value from 0 to the 10, right? And in the problem statement, it is asked here to count the values up to the 6 here. We are interested here. What is the possibility for the 10 here? So if it is x is equal to 0 here, means what is happening? Means the tail is appearing 10 times. What is the probability for the 10? 0.4. So 0.4 into 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 10 times here. This will give the 10 possibility for the you can say tail here. And among this 10 number of tails here, if I place the positions here of one tail either here or there, here, it doesn't matter here. Whatever the permutation combination I will place between this 10 here, it is going to be unchanged, correct? Simultaneously, now switch to the next level here. Now we are saying this is the one possibility, means out of the 10 trials I am getting one head here. So how it is going to be happen? So 0.6 for the one head, and 9 times there is still tail is appearing. So 0.4 into 0.4, 0.4, 9 times here. So 0.4 power 9 here. But at this incident here, you need to also assume, consider situation here. Now there is a possibility for appearance of one head here among the 10 possible cases here. So head would appear here at the first also may happen. The one which are counting as a head, it could be first trial, it could be second trial, it could be third trial, and so on here, or it could be 10th trial here. So there is some possibilities here, and these possibilities need to be introduced here when considering their associated probability distributions here. Okay, and this factor is calculated with considering their combinations here, correct? As out of the 10 we are looking for the one here, so it will be 10C1 here. So one of your colleagues has responded this one here from Dipanshu Pratik, correct? So NCR, this is the way we used to represent here. Okay, so NCR, this is 10C1, so value will be 10 here. So corresponding to that NCR here, what is the factorial n divided by the factorial n minus m here and factorial m here. So this way we used to calculate here. Now if you move corresponding to the x is equal to 2 here, so it will be combination 10C2 here. So once 10C2 here means I'm looking for the two heads possibilities here, and this two head possibility could appear at any places here out of the 1 to 10 here. It could be 1 and 10, it could be 2 and 4, it could be 2 and 7. So there is multiple possibilities here corresponding to the appearance of two heads out of the 10 trials here. So this will keep on will be varying here as we keep on moving to the further number of trials here. So this will be represented by 10C2 here into 2 times head is appearing, so 0.6 to power 2, and the out of remaining 0.4 times tail is appearing, so 0.4 into 8 here, correct? So this way we can calculate the number of possibilities for the heads appearance here. And if we keep on moving here, we could calculate the p is equal to 0.6, that will be 10 say 6 here, and 0.6 power 6 into 0.4 power 4 here. So this will be a little bit complicated, but yes, answer is we can do it. Okay. Now take another problem here. An industrial psychologist administered a personality inventory test for passive aggressive traits to 150 employees here. Individuals were given a score from 1 to 5, where 1 was extremely passive and 5 extremely aggressive here. A score of 3 indicated neither trait here. Construct a probability distribution for the random variable x, then graph the distribution using a histogram here. Okay. So based on their score here, out of the 150 employees here, it is provided. Correct. So this is the frequency they have already calculated. So indirectly they have also given the probabilities here. So how we calculate the probabilities? What is the favorable divided by the total here? So what is the total here? 150 employees here. Correct. So 150 employees, and corresponding to these x equal to 1, x equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the favorable conditions here. So corresponding to these associated values here, I could find their associated probabilities here. Correct. So this way we can do it. So P1, P2, P3, P4, I could calculate by the using the probabilities theorem. What is the favorable divided by the total here? So discrete probability distribution will follow like this: x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this probability associated probability we have calculated by the here. This one is coming from here. This P2 is coming from here. P3 is coming here. P4 and P5 here. Okay. So this way we have just calculated what is the associated probabilities here. So we have talked there how the distribution of the probabilities is taking place, right? So once we have calculated the distribution of the probabilities here, so we need to validate here. This is following the property of the discrete probability distribution. Okay. So what are the, as we have learned, there are two conditions. First, the probability is values always should be the positive and in the range of 0 to 1 here. So we can see corresponding to all the 5 cases here, their associated probabilities values are in the interval of 0 to 1. So first condition satisfied. Second, the summation of all these probabilities need to be unity. So sigma px I need to calculate 0.16. If you sum up here, it is coming unity here. So it is following the discrete probability distribution conditions here. Since then, so we could say that the probability distribution is discrete probability distribution in nature here. Now we could plot it through the corresponding histogram here. So if you remember last time, we also discussed here when I'm going for the histogram presentation. So one way to, or it is only used here. So keep the width here as a unity. Advantage is whatever the magnitude part is coming associated with the probability distribution, you can represent that directly with the height part here. Okay. So using this understanding here, we have simply plotted this x equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here with their associated probabilities distributions here. So this is the random variables outcome x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 with values here. Okay, and this is their associated probabilities here. There's another example here. We could go for it here. So in the previous all the cases here, we are moving ahead with the probability distribution with the straightforward values here. X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. But it is not mandatory here. When I'm deciding the values for a random variable x here, So once I'm deciding the x here and x here, so their value x1, x2 or x3 and x4, it is not mandatory they will follow the same way here, just they are appearing here. I could define any function here to represent it here, and this concept we learn here. How? So say a random variable x follow this pattern here, and how their probability distributions follows here. So this is the formula 0.3 into 0.7 into x minus 1 here. So this way their probability distribution is going to follow here in the functions here. So px. Okay. So corresponding to the x is equal to 1 here, their associated probabilities which we are going to calculate here, it is following with this manner here. Or and the different problem here, if you go here, you can find there could be some other functions too here to represent it here. So it is not mandatory that always will follow straightforward linkage here, because based on the nature of the problem here, so this relation could also varies here. Till now, whatever the problem we have considered here, there was a straightforward linkage with their random variables and their associated probability distribution here. It was looking just like a one-to-one mapping. This will be the case here also here, but there was a state, we can say, linear relations here, but it is not mandatory to go for a linear relation here. This relation could be exponential or some other form of functions to may exist here. Okay, so just keep a note here. That's why I have kept this example here to represent the random variable and their associated probabilities distributions here. And now there is another kinds of random variables here, distribution here. Just like a random variable, if you remember, there was two classification: discrete random variable and the continuous random variable here. Similarly, once we are going for their associated probability distribution here, so this probability distribution is also two kinds. One is discrete probability distribution, and that is the continuous probability distributions here. So just based on the nature here, it is going to be proportionate in the same fashion here, just like we have seen in case of discrete probability distributions here. So random variable x has values in R, then a probability distribution for x is a non-negative real valued function p such that integral of p over R is unity. Okay, so what's the changes happen? Previous case we have talked about the summation of the probability is going to be unity, and here we are saying the integration over the interval will leads to the unity here. Integration over the interval of their associated probabilities here will lead to the unity. At the same times, all the functions value need to be in the range of 0 to 1 here. So they need to follow the probability axiom here. So some distribution functions which would follow these kinds of continuous probability distribution is uniform distribution, normal distribution, Gaussian distribution, Poisson distribution, and many more here. Few we will discuss here in this course here to give a clear picture here. May result empirical if can't compute analytically here. That's a computational limitation here.
Excuse me, sir.
Mhm.
Sir, in previous one, previous one slide in which the probability distribution has been given, the sum of the probabilities is 0.98, not 1.
0.98. Okay, so this is the approximation values here. So just give an idea. Okay, so
Okay.
I have not verified these values associated here, so maybe a slight variation. So objective was just to give a thought processing to you. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so previous cases just we observe a linear function relation when I'm going for the probability distributions here. So
Okay.
that can't be a linear in all the circumstances here. It could follow some other form of functions too here to represent the associated probability distributions here. That's it here.
Okay, sir.
So any place there is some issues here, we could rectify. So at which place? This 4.
No, sir. The sum of all the probabilities is 0.98.
Okay.
Sir, is it necessary to always reach that one factor? Because might be like it's exponential, so it's approaching one, but not exactly equals to one.
So this is related to the mathematical limitations here, because once we solve it here, we take a lot of approximations here. Okay, so that approximation is leading to this difference here.
Okay, sir.
Uh-huh. So if you go follow each and everything without any approximation, it will always lead to the unity.
Okay, sir.
If it is not following here, then it is not the probability distributions functions here. So we are coming to the some examples here based on that here. Oh, so whatever the queries you will have here, they correspond to the same. Now the problem is in front of you. Okay. So first determine whether the following distribution is a discrete probability distribution. If not, state why. Can anyone correspond to the first problem here? So you need to tell me this is a discrete.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It is discrete.
Okay. The reason is yes, because probability summation is unity, and all the associated probabilities function values in the range of 0 to 1 here. That was the two mandatory conditions which we imposed here when we are defining the distribution, probability distribution functions here. So these both are true here. So we are saying this is correct. Now look the second problem here.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. Because of
The last
minus 0.15.
Okay, so many people are saying a lot of things here, so better try to avoid it here. So just have some consciousness here when you are speaking, and then others need to hold. Okay, don't speak simultaneously, otherwise it will create ambiguity among your colleagues here. So I also got the response here from the audience here. Probability can't be negative. This is Sivanshu. Okay. Swaroop. This also says same here. This is Aman. Says okay. A lot of responses are coming here because you will be able to pick it correctly. Because the probability can't be negative. So here what is given? One probability is which we have mentioned here. Here. This probability's value is negative here. So this is the violation of our two conditions which we have set here for the distribution functions here. So this is a violation here. So we could conclude this is not going to be a probability distributions here. So first case it was yes, but second case no. Okay. Now a few more. Determine the required values of the missing probability to make the distribution a discrete probability. So Bhupendra Chauhan, you need to unmute yourself here. Very good, very good. Very quick responses. Good, good, good. Okay. Yes. The reason is very simple here. How this is coming? Because if it is a discrete probability distribution here, the moment we claim it here, it means it need to follow those two conditions here, which we have already set here in our earlier discussion here. So if this is true, then they are the right candidates here. So this probability distribution value need to be unity here. So from there we could find out corresponding to the random variable x here, this values need to be 0.3 here. Correct. Very good. What about the second one? Second one, what is the values? Okay, good. So it is coming as a 0.5 here based on the same rule which we applied earlier here. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. The same background here, we could move on here. Probability distribution of a random variable. So this is problem we already discussed here. So in another form, it is represented here. Okay. Okay, let us see. So the random variable x here, corresponding number of tails here. What is the probability of possible outcomes? What is the probability distribution of x here? 0, 1, and 2 here. How we could calculate here? So each possible outcomes is 1 by 4. So if one tail possibility is 2 times, so 1 by 4, 1 by 4, it's 1 by 2, and rest is 1 by 4 again. Okay, so now we are going to discuss few of the operators here, which we generally applied once the data is available to us. Now, based on a previous understanding, if we conclude here, what we have done, first we have defined the probabilities corresponding to an events here. Okay, once you have defined the probabilities, so based on the different outcomes here corresponding to the events here, now we have mapped it with the random variables here, and corresponding to those random variables we have also calculated their associated probabilities distributions here. So now this point is clear to all of you here, because this is something based on that we are going to move ahead here. So now what we are trying to do here in the upcoming few minutes here, we are going to perform some mathematical operation here to extract the information or to have some ideas here. Till now what we are doing, just what is available here information, we are trying to map it with some numbers here, and that mapping from the events to the real line axis number is done through the random variables here. And once we are doing this mapping, the one-to-one mapping, we need to be very clear, and simultaneously corresponding to this one-to-one mapping, we have also calculated their associated probabilities distributions here. It could be discrete or it could be continuous based on the nature of the random variables here at the source level here. Now on top of it, we are going to perform some mathematical operations here. So we will discuss one by one here, and subsequently we will discuss again here. So first operation is the mean of a discrete probability distribution here, and how we are going to calculate it here. This is the summation. It is denoted by the symbol mu. It is by sigma x into px here. So what is the values x is there corresponding to events here, or you can say random variable, we take it, and their associated probability distributions here. So the product of these two summation will lead to the mean values here. This is the one way. Yeah. Let's take the example. The probability distribution for the personality inventory test for passive aggressive traits is given. Find the mean. So this is the x values. So random variable which we have to find. It has the x's x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is their associated probabilities 0.16, 0.22, 0.28, 0.20, and 0.14 here. So in order to find the mean here, what do we need to do? Sigma x into px here. So I need to go for sigma x into px, this whole. So sigma x px value will be, what is the x multiplied by the px? This x multiplied by the px here, and so on here. So I could calculate it. So this value is here with me. Now as for the formulas, I need to go for the summation. So this is coming as a 2.94 here. So what is the advantage of calculating these things here? We will come slightly later here. Okay. So at this place, what we are trying to do, we based on the random variable information and their associated probability distribution function here, we are trying to calculate some mathematical operators here. And what is the process of those mathematical operators? We are just emphasizing for this time here. After that, we will come to the importance of these mathematical tools computation advantage here. Just slightly, just have a little bit patience. We'll come to that part slightly later here. So you need to be very clear what is the process we are following here, how we can calculate it. So we have just learned how we can calculate the mean operations here, mean operators here. Okay. Now there is a variance and standard deviations here. So variance of a discrete probability distribution, how we can calculate? Sigma square is equal to, this is the second summation, x minus mu square into px here. Okay. And the standard deviation of a discrete probability distribution is just the under root of this function here. Sigma is equal to under root sigma square here, and this what is coming here, variance. Here if you take under root, we will get the standard deviation here. So how we can calculate it? We are considering the same problem here which we have just deal with earlier. So corresponding to this earlier problems here, we have already idea that this function has the mean value as a 2.94. Okay, so now we are moving for some other values associated with that here. So x px, x minus mu square, and x minus mu square px here as per the formulas here. And here we need to perform this summation here. So this is the information already with us. So x minus mu 1. So mu is value 2.94. X 1 minus 2.94. 2 minus 2.94 here. Okay. Then 3 minus 2.94 and so on here. So we have just done it. And then subsequently corresponding to this x minus mu calculation, we have gone for their square. And then once we have the square values, we have simply multiplied with px values, and then we have gone for the this variance here. Okay, so the point is, if you note it here, if we calculate the mean values here, once we have calculated the mean value, we are going for the x into px here. Okay, and now we are going for the x minus mu square here. Okay, so now why we are going for the square of this function? Objective is very clear, because we are trying to avoid the negative values presence here. Okay, here, so we are considering the positive. That's why whatever the values appearing here, positive or negative, if you go for a square, this negative part will be disappear from the mathematical aspects here. Okay, so how we could calculate sigma's variance? Just the same summation x minus mu square px. We already calculated this value, so go for the summation. It is coming 1.616 here. There is standard deviation. Sigma we could calculate by taking under root. This will be 1.616, approximately 1.3 here. So this expected values we also coded here. This is another operations here which we perform here. So first order here, second order, and higher values here. Okay, so this expected values is very basic aspects here. There on top of it, we built a lot of concepts also, like moments to here. We will discuss slightly later here. So once we talk about moment here, we'll see this expected values are just initial level classification of moment here, generalized form here. Okay, so what is, once you go for the moment here, what is that? Corresponding to the first level of x here, we can go for the higher level of x also here, x square, x cube, x4, and so on here. So that subsequently we will define what is the associated moments here. So we'll come to that part slightly later here. So expected value of discrete random variables here equal to the mean of the random variable when I am considering as the first level here. Correct? So what is the first level means? Here x is equal to 1 if I'm considering, then expected value of x is equal to the mean. Okay, and this is sigma x into px here. So we are not talking at this stage about the higher order possibilities here. We will come to that part in subsequent discussion here. Okay, so now we are coming to a problem here. As a raffle, 1500 tickets are sold at $2 each for 4 prizes of $500, $250, $150, and $75. You buy one ticket. What is the expected value of your gain here? So to find the gain of each prize, subtract the price of the ticket from the price here. Okay. Okay, someone is giving the answer here. Okay, good. So your gain for the $500 prize ticket is $500 minus $2, $498 here, and subsequently if you go for the other price of the tickets here, and then we subtract the original price of the ticket here, will come to the what is the total price here. So if you do not win a prize, your gain is, so means if you are going to win it here, then you are going to get it here. Otherwise, you have will be in the loss corresponding to what is the ticket price there. So corresponding to the price of ticket, you will be in the loss here if you didn't win here any uh, expected lotteries within this range here. So now we'll calculate the probability distributions here for the possible gains here. So what was that total number? 1500 here. So how we can calculate the probabilities corresponding to the favorable conditions here? Okay. So Px we could find out, because once we calculate here, because this is the lottery here. So out of the lottery, there is only one possibility that you hit it, that one here. The rest of the possibilities is related to the loss conditions here. So the favorable condition of winning would be corresponding to these four cases: 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So either out of this 4 ticket, which is the lottery tickets here, any tickets you will purchase here will lead to the loss here. So all these 4 cases will lead to the profit outcomes here. So there are probabilities you could find out here. Okay. So once we calculate it here, so you can expect to lose an average of $1.35 for each ticket you buy here. So this is just one way to look up the problems here. Median and mean of the probability distributions here for symmetric distribution. So median is the middle value with half of the value above and half below. Equal area value and histograms. Mean is the average values here, which is calculated by the into px, balance point of histogram. Mean equals median for symmetrical distributions here. So we are going to see this one. Okay. So what we have calculated here, just see this definition. That's why median is the middle value with half of the value above and half below. Equal value area value on histogram here. So once we calculate the median here corresponding to any histogram, how we can calculate the histogram? You have already cleared it about it. So the probability distribution value of x, random variable is on the x-axis, x1, x2, x3, x4, and associated their probability distribution, we could plot it here. Okay, so that which way the we have plotted earlier, that is related to the discrete probability distributions here. Now this graph is related to the continuous probability distributions here. So median is related to the that part where we are going to divide this whole histogram into two equal areas here. So that is the median here. Now what we are defining the mean here, that is something else. Mean is, if you remember, summation of sigma x into px. So that formula we have just calculated here. So now corresponding to an event here, until unless this graph is not present to us here, we don't have any idea about the nature of the function here, correct? And how we're coming to this nature here? Still, corresponding to some events, this graph is related to some events which is happening in the background here. Okay, either to you have all the information related to that events happening here, then you can have some ideas here. Okay, either based on that mapping and further analysis, we could come to this level here where we could find out some conclusive remark here by just having the observation about the histogram presentation here. Okay, so if we observe the mean and median values here, if mean is to the median, means symmetrical distributions here. Okay, here second, first, if you see the A part here, your mean is left side here, skewed left, mean is here. Means mean is substantially smaller than the median here. And skewed right, mean is substantially larger than median here. So now the question will be bubbling in your mind here. So what is the advantage? Why you are doing it here? So once we have this information, how it is going to be fruitful to us here? So you can think with one simple example of I'm giving you any communication system here. So in communication system, there is one is transmitter, another is receiver here, correct? So once we talk from the transmitter perspective here, they transmit some information here. Once they transmit here, it need to go through the channel. Once it goes through the channel here, it reaches to the receiver here. But once it is traveling on the channel here, a lot of noises will interact with that signal here. Its shape is going to be deformed completely here. So what is the receiver end? Once at the transmitter end, we are transmitting the pulses like this here. This is complete symmetrical in nature here. But at the receiver end, what is the nature of that pulse here? Okay, it could be skewed left, it could be skewed right here. So based on that, we anticipate what will be the amount of noise interaction taking place in the medium here. So subsequently, based on that, we have some corrective measures also here in common system, and then we retrieve the information here. So, but prior to applying those corrective measures here, we need some information about the incoming pulse, incoming pulse shape here. So these information how we can extract here based on these mathematical models or mathematical tools which which are having in discussion at present here. They are going to help us in finding the corrective measure here at the receiver end in the proper decision making process here. This is one very qualitative discussion we are doing here. We are not going for the very exactly deep level here. Okay, so just an idea why we are what we are doing here, how this could be useful here. There are many communication system or the receiver end. This kinds of information is already done here. This distribution, the random variable x here represents the number of activities a parents of k fifth grade student is involved here. Verify that this is a discrete probability distributions. So how we can verify? Simply, we need to check first all the probabilities values are in the range of 0 to 1. Second, all the probability summation is, what is the second condition?
All the probability sum is equal to 1.
Good. So all the probabilities need to be unity. So if we go for these two probability check here, we could say, okay, there is this sum is unity, so they are following the discrete probability distributions here. Draw a probability histogram. We could draw it. So Excel form, you can select. Simply you need to put it here in the Excel form, and then once you have the Excel form, you can represent the different way to represent it here. Correct? So simple put in the Excel data and then go for the data views here, column form or line form or pie form, bar form. So there are multiple ways to represent the data here based on your convenient or which one looks good to you. You can plot it here. So once we plot it, you will get a diagram like this. So we have already done this exercise. So distribution shape, what do you think will be the relation between the mean and the median here? So okay, compute and interpret the mean of the random variable x here. So how we can calculate the mean? X into px here. So already x and px information is given to us here. This information x and this px was given, correct? So what we calculate, x into px 2.92. How we could calculate the variance? X into px, we already calculated x minus mu, okay, minus 2.94. Mu just calculated here. This is mu, okay. So x minus mu square, then x minus mu square px. It is coming 1.176 here. Now we can go for the standard deviations, that is delta here. That is again, if you take the under root, we will come calculate, it is coming 1.084. What is the that a randomly selected student has a parents involved in 3 activities here. So again, there are some conditional probability analysis. We can perform it here. Student has parent. So again, further classifications. Okay. Now time is coming up here. So this is all related to some probability distributions here, and then what kind of problem we could tackle here with the probability distributions here we have just discussed in this class here. So if you have any doubts, you can ask here. Otherwise, we will close this discussion. There is something we will discuss next time. Any doubt?
Sir, HLS quiz result.
Quiz result will be announced here after few minutes. Okay. The time will come. It will be reflected on your Google Classroom. Okay. Once we'll compile it, we'll declare it. Okay.
सर सर मैं कल क्विज नहीं दे पाया था.
This is not the platform to discuss these things here. This is related to the course discussion. What we were having discussion.
सर मेल ही नहीं आया था मेरे.
Again, I am saying this is not the platform here. So all of your colleagues are getting, you are not getting here. So something you need to be aware here. Okay. So if you're not getting, so your email ID is working properly. Have you checked it properly?
Yes sir.
Then just discuss with the network team here. So why this problem is happening. Okay. Thank you.